This is Ag Matters PM from the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network, brought to you by the Iowa Soybean Association, your daily recap of the information that affects Iowa's farmers, producers, and consumers, right here in the heart of the Heartland. With reports from our award-winning broadcast team of Dustin Hoffman, Riley Smith, and Mark Magnuson. Now, from the IARN studios in Des Moines, here's Riley Smith.
Well, good day and welcome to Ag Matters PM from the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network. I'm Riley Smith. Today is Monday, October 10th, 2022. We're so glad you can join us today. In this episode of Ag Matters PM, I have coverage from the Farmland donation to the Food Bank of Iowa from last week. And as always, we take a look at the Ag Weather Outlook. But first, let's run down the markets.
It's time now for the Ag Matters PM Closing Market Summary, your source for market analysis and settlement prices from the day's trade in Chicago, courtesy of the folks at agmarket.net.
Well, we're at the closing session at the start of another week in the ag marketplace, and for a bit of analysis, we go to Robin Schmahl of agmarket.net. Robin, what was going on in the grain markets today?
Well, we had a few things that really put some upward momentum into that market. One of the things is that the issues down with Mississippi River, now spot barge rates really climbed last week and are staying high. I mean, near record highs right now. And that's because they want the stuff down into the south, into the Gulf, but they can't get it, or they're getting it a lot slower. There was a blockage there for a little while, but they were able to get that going again, and they're loading some of the barges with less grain than normally they would be. So on the receiver end, the basis or the barge rates are going quite a bit higher, but internally the basis is dropping because the harvest is progressing. Difficulties, or not difficulties, but the processors and elevators, they're just kind of floundering now with possibly getting more grain in than what they can ship out. So that's one of the things that's seemed to put some upward momentum. You can look at that and say, well, that could be both ways. But at this point in time, that coupled with some other things pushed it higher. Now, Brazilian farmers on their soybeans, they've only 18.8% sold of their crop this year, which is very light. And it's the lowest amount that they've sold so far ahead in the last 6 years. So the soybean prices in Brazil have declined recently, and that's creating the hesitancy by the Brazilian farmers to forward contract. And we also had the explosion at the Kerch Strait Bridge in Crimea, which resulted in attacks by Russia, rocket attacks into Ukraine. Now, what that's doing is it's increased the possibility that maybe Putin will not want to renew the safe passage or the shipping lanes through the Black Sea. That's one thing that's also creating some kind of an uncertainty into the market, which is pushing prices higher in case that happens. The deal, I guess, is supposed to be brokered or rebrokered or redone again in November. And now there's some concern over that not happening. And just also today, there was one of the top unions in the rail system has rejected the deal. And now that's opening it up again for more the possibility of rail strike. That just came out today. And that, again, it's bullish and bearish, depending on if you're an end user or a seller, I'm sorry. So you've got a number of different things coming together here that really provided the uncertainty, which provides the support and the push to the market. Now, harvest is progressing fairly well here, in the U.S., so that's really not an issue of getting grain out in time. Now, we have the World Supply and Demand Report out on Wednesday, and the estimates are looking at corn production at 13.885 billion bushels, down 59 million bushels from the previous estimate in September. Yield at 171.8 bushels to the acre, down 0.7 bushels from the previous estimate, and ending stocks at 1.124 billion bushels, down 95 million bushels. Now, the ending stocks at 1.124 in corn is bullish, because if we drop below 1.2 billion bushels, that starts to create some issues. and puts ending stocks to use really tight. So could that even decline some more? That's possible, and that's providing strong support under the market. Now, soybean estimates are for 4.381 billion bushels, up 3 million bushels from the last time. Yield up 0.1 per bushel to the acre at 50.6. And ending stocks jumping to 248 billion bushels, up 48 million, million bushels, 248 million bushels, up 48 million bushels from the last one. Now, wheat ending stocks, they're looking at 554, down 56 million bushels. So wheat really exploded today, up close to 60 cents. The issues over in Ukraine and potential for a reduction in those ending stocks.
All right, Robin, and then how did the livestock market react to those steep climbs in the grains?
The cattle market, live and feeder cattle market, reacted as would have been anticipated with lower prices, seeing some triple-digit losses in there. The higher opening in live cattle didn't last very long. That faded quickly, even though it was higher overnight. There was some weakness that came in the corn or the grain markets early, but then that started gaining momentum and came back up again. So that put the pressure on the cattle market again. Now, new show lists on live cattle are mixed. There's anticipation for maybe $1 higher cash this week, but it may be tough to get more than that because 26% of the cattle that were purchased last week were purchased for deferred delivery. So that puts a little bit of an edge to the packers there on that moving into this week. Now, box beef is mixed at the midday report. Choice was up or down 41 cents, where select was up 34 cents. Now, packer margins for the cattle are way below last year and the 3-year average. So the packer margins are really decreasing, and they might start taking some steps in order to slow slaughter speed or whatever to try to improve those margins. Now, in the hogs, we showed some aggressive trade into the close on a December contract with over $2, about $2.60 higher. February up over $1. Later contracts were lower because there was a lot of evidence of spread trading going on. Now, cash is lower on the morning report, was down 452, and cutouts were up only 94 cents. The way were up. So the surprise was this real strength in the hog market. Now, packer margins in hogs are running about $20 below a year ago, but they have been improving. But there is some balancing between what they think might be demand in hogs relative to hog supply. But today was a day that the hog shined relative to the cattle, and we saw some good trading support under the market, probably because of low prices, making them attractive to step back in and purchase.
All right, Robin, lots of great information today for those of our listeners and our viewers who would like to get in touch and learn more from the folks at agmarket.net. How can they do that?
They can give me a call directly at 877-256-3253, or they can go to agmarket.net. The phone number is on the website there to be able to reach any of the brokers.
All right, Robin. Well, it's been great visiting with you today, and we hope to hear from you again soon.
All right. Thank you for having me on again.
That again was Robin Schmahl of agmarket.net. We'll go ahead and take a look at how those numbers close. That's courtesy of the folks at Bar Chart. December corn is up 15 even at $6.98 and a quarter. November soybeans up 7 even at $13.74 even. December soybean meal up 5 even at $405.70. Soybean oil down 54 at $66.06. Chicago wheat up 57 3/4 at $9.38 even. Minneapolis spring wheat up 46 1/4 at $10.14 and a quarter. Kansas City hard red wheat up 55 1/2 at $10.24 and a quarter. And December oats up 5 3/4 at $3.84 3/4. On the Merc, October live cattle down 62 at $144.70. October feeders down 262 at $172.10. October lean hogs up 80 at $93.75. December pork cutout up 222 at $90.07. And Class 3 milk down 23 at $21.88. And that's been a check of the markets here on Ag Matters PM. We're going to go ahead and take a quick break to hear from our sponsor, the Iowa Soybean Association and the Soy Checkoff. When we come back, I'll have coverage from last week's huge donation to the Food Bank of Iowa. This is Ag Matters PM.
Iowa Soybean Association is driven to deliver for Iowa's 40,000 soybean farmers. We're proud to provide objective agronomic research, a helping hand with soil and water stewardship, and timely industry news powered by the Soybean Checkoff. Learn more at iasoybeans.com.
Welcome back to Ag Matters PM from the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network. I'm Riley Smith. Farmland teamed up with the National Pork Board, the Iowa Pork Producers Association, and country singer Luke Bryan's farm tour to combat food insecurity across the Midwest as part of their Honoring the Heartland tour. Last week, the tour stopped by the Food Bank of Iowa in Des Moines to donate over 30,000 pounds of protein and present the Iowa FFA Association with a $9,000 donation. Iowa Ag Secretary Mike Nag talked about how this donation represents the spirit of Iowa's ag industry, especially when it comes to pork production.
And I just want to take a minute. You know, the Food Bank of Iowa here just commemorated 40 years, your 40th birthday just not too long ago. Think of that, 40 years of serving Iowans in need in communities all across our state. And I really want to thank every employee, even throughout current employee or historical employee, volunteer, community partner, every donor that has made that 40 years of history possible. Unfortunately, though, that historic and unprecedented disruption that has been caused to each of our lives in the last couple of years has continued and has only underscored the importance of our food banks and food pantries. In fact, the increasing need, and it's also should be noted that we're standing, well, not in a construction zone, because somebody wouldn't maybe like me to say that, but we're next to a construction zone, meaning there's an addition happening here, a very important addition to this building and this structure that will help Food Bank of Iowa support their partners. Persistent inflation and continued supply chain disruptions are increasing the cost of living, and that's hitting consumers hard. You know, we've just recorded the largest increase in food prices over a 12-month period. We just set a record that we haven't seen since March of 1979. I was 1 year old at that time. Now, some of you think that's a long time ago, but 1979, last time that we've seen food inflation like we've seen at this time. So of course this means that family budgets are stretched thin. It also means that, as you heard, the food banks and community pantries are also experiencing difficulties procuring the food that they need to meet that demand. They need food donations, they need financial donations, and that's only going to ramp up as we get into the holiday season here and as grocery and energy prices continue to increase. All of this again underscores the importance of the donation that we're here to recognize today from Farmland. Thanks for this Honoring the Heartland tour and for making this truly timely donation to help those in need. The truckload, 160,000 servings of high-quality protein raised by hardworking farm families, and it will be a welcomed addition to the plates of many Iowans in need in the coming weeks. And of course, I've visited many of our food pantries across the state, and I know the importance of having protein available for their customers, for their families that they serve, especially families who have growing children who need that meat, those eggs, and that milk. I also want to thank Farmland for this contribution of support for the Iowa FFA Association, for thousands of students in chapters all across our state. I get a chance to regularly interact with our FFA officer team and FFA students and participants all across the state. They truly continue to inspire me, and I know that our future is in great hands when I look at these young people and what they're already accomplishing and the things that they'll do in the coming years. I also want to thank our tremendous partners, the Iowa Pork Producers Association. You're going to hear from Trish Cook, the president-elect, here just in a second. National Pork Board for their role in this effort today as well, and their continued partnership on many initiatives. We're working together to support and protect that pork producer industry, that what happens on farms, but also to make sure that consumers have access to those products and that we're doing it in a way that's more sustainable well into the future. And time to time again, I've seen the agriculture community in this state step up to help their communities in need. I think back to the onset of the pandemic. We worked together with partners to create programs like Pass the Pork and Beef Up Iowa. 2.5 million servings of protein, Iowa-raised, Iowa-processed protein on the plates of Iowa families in need. And it couldn't have happened at a more important time. We have an incredibly productive agriculture in this state. The pork production alone in this state contributes billions to our economy. It supports farms and businesses and communities, big and small, all across our state. That drives our economy, and it also supports the livelihoods of thousands of farm families and Iowa families across this state. U.S. agriculture produces the safest, most affordable, most abundant food supply in the world. An American family spends less than any family around the world on the food that they consume every year, and yet there are gaps. And that's what we're here to address and talk about today. So thanks to our pork producer community for giving back in another way today. Thanks to Farmland for stepping up and for making this contribution. There's no question that we've got work to do, but when we work together, and I think you're seeing a little bit of that today, when we work together, we can truly make a difference. So thank you for being here. Thanks for this important donation.
A donation like this solidifies the fact that the ag industry will always support those who are in need, especially in the Midwest. Jessica Scarlett, Senior Associate Brand Manager for Farmland, said they're excited to be able to give back to communities in such a way.
Just tell us a little bit about this donation and just, what a huge donation to make, especially this time of year.
Yeah, we're super excited that we could be a part of this and that we could give back. We're giving over 30,000 pounds of protein, and we know at this time that it's really necessary and needed, especially with the current economic climate. We're really excited to serve all of your community and really give back to the Midwest.
Right, and we know at this time of year, with all these input costs going in, living costs going in, families and producers especially are spending more and more of their salary on just living. And they need to be able to get that high quality, nutritious meat to just live healthily. And what better meat to get than pork, right?
Correct. It's delicious, it's nutritious, everybody loves it. We're super excited to provide it for the communities around here.
So just tell me a little bit about the partnership with the Iowa Pork Producers Association as well. Why partner with them?
Well, we actually started that partnership because of the Luke Bryan Farm Tour. It was a natural association, and we really enjoyed partnering with them. They're part of the people that provide the pork for us. They're the farmers. They're on the grounds, and we're really excited to partner with them. It just seemed like a natural relationship.
And of course, this really goes back to the whole Iowans are giving back to Iowans, and we just have this whole message of we are here for each other and we just support our own community.
Yes, we're really excited, and Farmland is rooted in this community. It started here, it feeds this community, and we're really excited to be here with you guys.
And then this isn't just a food donation as well. We had Iowa FFA members here to receive a $9,000 donation to just kind of go into that and give back to the youth. So let's touch on why it's so important to support those youth in agriculture and show them that there's a future that they have in this industry in this state.
Yeah, the students are our future, and we know that sometimes it's challenging to really be a part of the agricultural field. So we want to continue and nourish those young people that are really interested in it and really interested in giving back to their communities as well. So FFA is a really great partnership for us with Farmland.
All right, and is there anything else about this partnership, this donation, that our viewers and our listeners should know about?
The one thing that we started this year is the grant program, so we're really excited. We're going to give 20 $1,000 grants to students in FFA, and they have a chance to actually apply online for that. If you go to farmlandfoods.com, you can look at it. It's our FFA grant program. We're really excited for that this year.
The donation also came at an ideal time as October is National Pork Month. Iowa Pork Producers Association President-elect Trish Cook talked about the partnership and how it helps highlight Iowa's pork industry.
Yeah, great. Thanks for having me here today. And first, I just want to say it's October Pork Month, so this donation of pork couldn't be more timely as far as the time of the year. We would really like to talk about how we raise the pork and the pig farmers in Iowa and just how proud we are of the protein that we raise. This donation is 30,000 pounds here to the Food Bank of Iowa in partnership with Farmland and the Luke Bryan Farm Tour, and it's providing a very valuable, needed protein source for the food bank system in Iowa.
And what a better state than Iowa to have this donation of pork. I mean, it really exemplifies that not only do we have such a healthy pork industry in the state, but this is Iowans giving back to Iowans.
That's right. Iowa is the #1 pork producing state in the United States. Of course, we have held that title since the late 1800s, which is pretty amazing. And part of the reason that we raise so much pork here is because we're co-located so close to the two main food ingredients that we feed pigs, and that's of course corn and soybeans. So 25% of the corn and soy produced in the state of Iowa goes to feed the pigs in the state of Iowa.
All right, and of course you mentioned it's Porktober. We have October as the pork month that we're celebrating right now. And of course, let's talk a little bit as well on how pork is such a nutritious meat to donate, as it's available, of course, with Iowa being the #1 state, and with such a huge need for nutritious meat that is affordable and easy to prepare, what better than pork to turn to?
That's right. It's exciting that pork is the most globally consumed protein, more than poultry, more than beef. It's economical, it's nutritious, it's delicious, and again, we're really proud to raise it here in the state of Iowa.
Now, of course, how is it to work with Farmland to get this donation? I mean, obviously there's a great relationship going on here, and it's just obvious that both parties are interested in giving back to the state.
Yeah, the energy of today is just awesome. Like the Farmland staff that's here, the pork producers, the FFA, the Secretary of Ag for Iowa, Secretary Nag. Just the energy has been great, and everyone is so excited to be able to give back to the community. And again, as pig farmers, we're always happy to share the products that we produce every day.
And of course, you mentioned the FFA members who are here. They got a donation as well, $9,000. How important is it to donate back to these kids and just show them that they have a future in this industry, in this state?
Right. I feel that's very personal to me. I have 3 children who are now mostly grown adults, but they all got their roots in agriculture, 1 through a farm and 2 through FFA. So it's a great organization to get young people involved, and our future is dependent upon young people wanting to join our industry.
All right, and just kind of shift back to the focus on Porktober. Obviously, you guys have a lot going on to celebrate this month. What are some of the things that people can look forward to seeing?
Well, you can look forward to seeing specials at your grocery stores. We did a remote last week from Hy-Vee and Cedar Rapids where we're running all kinds of great specials on pork products. You can see radio and television commercials. You'll see giveaways on, again, radio. We'll see newspaper ads. A lot of the county pork organizations will put some advertisements out. Maybe your local newspapers will actually do a feature on a local pig farmer, and you can see a little bit more about what goes on their farm every day.
All right, Trish. Well, thanks for speaking with us today. This has been a great donation, just a great event overall. Is there anything else that our viewers and our listeners should know about this event and just what's going on?
Just as pig farmers, we're really proud of the products that we are able to provide to consumers, a protein source that's delicious and economical.
All right. Thank you very much, Trish.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
For more information on Porktober, visit iowapork.org. As for right now, let's go ahead and take a look at that ag weather outlook. Well, it's been pretty chilly recently, but as for today and tomorrow, we could see some nice warmer temperatures before we kind of dip back into those fall conditions. So let's go ahead and take a look at what the National Weather Service has in store for the next 24 hours.
As you can see from the National Weather Service, it's going to be a little warmer than expected for the next couple days. Today we'll have mostly sunny skies across the state and above average temps, highs ranging from the low to upper 70s. Tonight we'll have clear skies and mild temperatures, lows ranging overnight from the low to mid 50s. And tomorrow expect sunny skies with warmer and windy conditions and a few more clouds with a chance of rain in the east, highs ranging from the low 70s to low 80s. And taking a look at the affiliate weather map, as you can see for tomorrow, Cherokee will be sunny with a high of 81, Shenandoah sunny and 82, Des Moines sunny and 79, Waterloo partly sunny and 77, Albion mostly sunny and 77 as well, and Clinton will be partly cloudy with a chance of showers and a high of around 73.
For more detailed forecasts in your part of the state, make sure to check in with your local Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network affiliate. And that's been a check of the Ag Weather Outlook, and that also brings us to the end of this episode of Ag Matters PM. You can find all of our content on our website at iowaagnet.com. You can also follow us on social media at Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok, and you can find all of our video content as well as previous episodes of AM PM on our YouTube channel. So don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell to see when those videos go live. Don't forget as well our free twice daily market podcasts on Apple, Amazon, Google, Spotify, and Podbean. From the IARN studios in Des Moines, I'm Riley Smith. On behalf of Dustin Huffman and Mark Magnuson, we thank you for watching. This has been Ag Matters PM.